Today, we've got somebody back on the show who, thanks to her first appearance on this podcast, got a client for TikTok ads. And through TikTok, they were able to 10x their sales. And now they are even featured as a case study on the TikTok website. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Not sure on what main image you should choose from? Or maybe you don't know whether buyers would be interested in your product at a certain price point. Perhaps you want feedback on your new brand or company logo. Get instant and detailed market feedback from actual Amazon Prime members by using Helium 10 Audience. Just enter in your poll or questions, and within a short period of time, 50 to 100 or even more Amazon buyers will give you detailed feedback on what resonates with them the most. For more information, go to h10.me/audience. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I am your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed, organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. We've got somebody who helps sellers from the other side of the world, all the way coming live from Serbia. Tamara, welcome back to the show. How's it going?
Thank you very much. I mean, it's going great. Different vibe these days, but love it to be here again.
What do you mean different vibe these days?
Yeah, so I have my own agency this time. It's a different vibe. It's, working on my own with a small team, doing something different than the other time. So because of that different vibe.
Cool, but you're still there in around Belgrade area, right?
Yes, still in Belgrade, Serbia, but moving around, let's say, to different, let's say, events and such a things through Europe. So, but still based in Belgrade.
Cool. So if anybody wants to know the more of the backstory, go to episode 332. So h10.me/332. That was the first time we had her on the show, and you can find out a little bit more of her origin story. But it's actually interesting. Speaking of that exact podcast episode, you have got an interesting story for us. So somebody heard you on that podcast, and then they reached out to you late down the road, and that's the thing, guys. You get on this podcast sometimes. It's not live, and it doesn't just disappear after it's live. Like, it stays out there on the interwebs for a long time. And so somebody reached out to you a few months ago, and go ahead and start telling us the story then.
Yeah, you said it right. I mean, it doesn't go away. Like, it stays for years, I'm sure. Like, people are still listening to like episodes from like a year and a half, and more. So one of my first clients, actually the first client that I started with, was Brand Marbotic, that reached out to me like after listening our previous episode, talking about TikTok, of course. So she reached out to me, and I was like, "Oh, Tamara, are you still working with TikTok? Are you a freelancer? What's your story?" Because I see that the podcast is like from the beginning of this year, but she was reaching out in September last year, 2022. So I was like, "Yeah, still doing it, blah, blah, blah." And we started to work together, and she talked to me about the podcast, about what she was listening to, paying attention to, what she liked about it. So she was really keen to try it on for her Amazon brand.
In what state was her brand, kind of, and what kind of product was it, etc.? When you first started researching them?
Yeah, so it's brand from France. Actually, it was from France. They are, how can I say, like, they have developed app for iOS, so for iPad. Actually, it was for teaching children how to read or how to count on some fun and active way, to be playful for them with some characters and similar. And additional to that app, they have developed like little stamps with numbers and letters. So you can take that stamp and like literally stamp it on your iPad and like learn how to read, make some sentences and words, and how to count. So they started to sell that on Amazon, if I'm not wrong, on 2016, 17, something like that. So they had the struggles since day one. I mean, all new sellers will know how it is at the beginning, but they didn't find, like, in a few years, like 5, 6 years, they didn't find, let's say, like a right formula how to increase their, reach on Amazon, how to be, better seller, to get some badges at least or something. So they tried TikTok like at the beginning of 2022. They didn't know how to, optimize the campaigns, how to do it. Nothing was, working for them. But I have to say, the product is amazing. Like, really, app works amazing. Product is really nice. Children really engage with it because it's really funny. Like, you really want to stay and learn. If you don't have like a sense you're learning something, it's like more playing, but still learning. So they had a struggle for some reason. They didn't know how to optimize the campaign on Amazon and then on TikTok. So when she reached out to me, the Marie owner, the previous owner of Robotic, she said to me, like, they never get that much of a brand awareness and couldn't increase the sales as they would like to, at least a little bit, just to be
Mhm.
profitable. So at that time in September, when she reached out to me, she actually applied for insolvency. So she couldn't, work anymore with it, but she was like really keen to try it one more time. And she heard the episode and,
So,
really,
so she was going to go out of business. In other
yeah.
words, like trying to like wind down, and so this was almost like her last try to try and make something out of it. Then, huh?
Yes, yes, literally the last step, before she goes, totally with the brand. But yeah, we started to work together, and I had like with the team, we had some good ideas for her videos because she has like she had some girl for UGC to create the videos on TikTok for her, and the
So
videos.
she had her own TikTok account. She had somebody even creating UGC, but like, what was the problem? It wasn't getting views, or the content wasn't great, or what was the issue when you took a look at what her strategy was before she came to you?
Yeah, they didn't know how to, like, when it comes to organic, they didn't know how to reach out to the audience, to right users, and when it comes to advertising, they didn't know how to optimize right. They couldn't find a good agency or good freelancer or someone in-house. She really tried everything, so taking overall, the videos were actually great, amazing. They needed just like a few little things to how can I say, like, add it, add some
Mm-hmm.
hooks, for example, or to show off the product at least.
What's the name of your new company again?
Add to ads.
I see you put it. You threw in a little pun there. I see they needed just a little bit to add. Okay, I got you. You're really good at this marketing thing. I like it. All right,
Yeah,
continue, please.
it's already into my head and I do it. I don't even notice it anymore. But good, yeah. So yeah, we needed to add a little bit of sparkle there. Um, so we helped them with the strategy for organic videos. Like, we helped the girl that was doing a UGC, like, with a little bit for hooks, a little bit of how to show product in the first 2, 3 seconds, and the rest of it was amazing, anyways. So what they actually needed was optimization of the campaigns and the right team to do it. So let's say we helped a little bit with an organic part, and then we start with an advertising. I mean, in September, it was like end of September, I think, about. We started the campaigns, and in about like 5 or 7 days, she already noticed, some results. She already saw increase in sales. Like, I don't know like now exact numbers, but it was like she usually sold like about 10 products a day. Then it was 13, 15 in like 7 days increased. But she never had that, like, that number. Even if it's like lower in the 7 days, she was like, I think it's doing something. So comparing September to October, it was like 8 times we increased their sales, which was crazy because I never saw something going crazy up like with them. And October comparing to November, actually November to October, like in November we had like 12 times increased it, so it was huge.
So from like what to what? What numbers were they doing before, approximately per month, on sales? And also, is this all on Amazon, or is this also including like their .com sales?
Yeah, so we never did like .com sales, and I think they didn't have nothing on that side. It was just
Mhm.
Amazon US actually, because
Amazon US. Okay.
yeah, it's US market, and even they're from France, they were just selling in US. So yeah, I don't remember the exact numbers of the sales, but as I said, it was like in my mind, as I remember, it was below 100, and then it started to go like to hundreds, of sales, like crazy sales,
Mhm.
Um, and the funny thing about it is that I really always like to mention when it comes to Amazon is we were trying to follow the performance, like how that happened to see what's going on in the campaigns. And the funny thing is, we couldn't see anything in the campaigns because when you're creating on TikTok campaign, you still need to have Amazon attribution link to follow. Why?
Yeah.
Because yeah, TikTok will show you only views and clicks, engagement and just the basic things because Amazon doesn't allow you to. So you need to create Amazon attribution link to see actually sales of the product. And we were seeing small numbers there. For example, I remember it was just showing around 10% of the sales, nothing else. Then it like in second month it was showing like around 30-40%, but still not 100% that we saw like from TikTok actually that was coming. And we were trying to figure it out, like we as a team, we had all the access to her Amazon account and of course the TikTok account. She had it also on her website as well. We tried like some different tools to follow what's going on, and still we couldn't find any tool that will help us to follow what is going on Amazon. And attribution link didn't allow us to see 100% of what's going on. So we were trying to actually turn to search term report and to see actual sales and compare it to the month when we didn't work. And we even had like in the middle of October
Which search term report are you referring to?
on Amazon, search term report, advertising search term report.
The advertising, not search career performance. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we were just trying to see there what's going on, like because also on Amazon advertising on campaigns we could see increase in sales, better ACOS, and much more sales than it was before. So we saw in the search term reports like some keywords that weren't there before, and when we put them in some like Excel sheet, we realized it was the keywords from the hooks from the videos that were in the campaign on TikTok. So, for example, hook was like, I don't know, funny way to play with your children or such a things. I forgot the right, but it was something with the kids playing. And we saw like kids playing keywords with letters and numbers mixing. We never had that.
Well, hold on. So, what do you mean by hook?
Like the hook on the beginning of the video on TikTok. So
Like the caption, how
yeah,
it oh, okay. And so then the caption on a TikTok video was something, and then so what your theory was that, hey, maybe people, instead of just clicking the attribution link, they're just going directly to Amazon and kind of typing that in to try and find this product. And then were you already targeting that in Amazon advertising, or was that just coming from an auto campaign, or how did you even get that in Amazon advertising?
yeah. So most of them were in auto campaign. Some were in a
Mhm.
phrase and broad ad groups,
Okay.
because like it's a longer story. What we realized, because we were launching the campaigns in US, I was in Serbia, Belgrade, and they were in France. We had
Mhm.
some team in US helping us. We at the end like I don't know how, but it happened to show to one of our team members in US the commercial. When he clicked on it, he said like he needed to log into Amazon account, and he was like, I'm too lazy to do this now. I don't even remember my password now. So like I would naturally, if I like the product, I would go and search for it on my Amazon app actually. So we realized that not all the users can actually click on ad and be immediately, to their to. I mean, they could saw Amazon page, but when they click on buy it, add to cart, they need to sign in. So for some, they needed to sign in because they were even, I don't know, lazy or forgot the password or whatever. They needed to go to their app and actually search for it. And the keywords they actually searched for are from the video, the text that was, point out on the video, like a hook at the beginning, like, did you know this or try this? Or even we realized because the box is, was huge for the kids. And we have some video where one of the girls were trying to, pick up the box and it was too big and it was a little bit funny. But you could see the name of the product. It was Deluxe Kit, and everybody were trying to actually search for Deluxe Kit as
Hmm.
well. So I remember that keyword was actually huge, increase of sales with only that keyword. And before that,
Hmm.
I mean, we tried that keyword on Amazon, like Deluxe Kit, but never converted because no one knew, the name of the product and brand and
Yeah.
everything. So also brand keywords increased. No one heard before that. I mean, no one. Such a small amount of users heard of Merbotic, and it was
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
trending on the account to see Merbotic brand keyword has converted and sold. So we saw also Merbotic Deluxe Kit, Merbotic Kids, Merbotic, whatever, stamps. We saw increase of that keywords that never have sold that much, maybe one or two products per month. It was not a big deal. And then we saw it increase like crazy. So those are like key points that we have discovered and was like crucial for us because we didn't know how to follow if it's good or not. I mean, we saw increase in sales, but we wanted to know how to follow it, what happened, and to investigate more. So I would say really, really helped us to see like a search term advertising search term report and the guy who saw the commercial and told us, about the problem. But when we tested, like we could enter to Amazon, didn't need to go to app. So it was, strange things happened, but it still was working. So I think it's valuable info to know that about TikTok advertising, like how to actually follow the results. And thanks to that, we knew what's going on and trying to still push the ads until the end of Q4.
And so I guess it was so successful that even TikTok itself like found out about this. They're like, what's going on with this company? And then they reached out to you and even used this whole thing as a case study on TikTok's website, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. At that time, I was like talking with TikTok team from UK, and they looked at the account that I was working on with team, and they were like, "Hey, this is like crazy campaign because we see crazy increase like in beginning of September, nothing almost, and then in October and November and December, starting to going crazy." So they were like, "Are you interested to do case study with us, like a success story?" To be, pointed out on TikTok.com, like TikTok for business. And I mean, for sure, I said yes. And Marie from Robotic was also like thrilled to hear the news. So it was amazing story actually. Like I think if I remember, it almost brought us tears, like to me and Marie, because I know her story, how it was and how they struggled for years. And now to have crazy increase and then TikTok reaching out to us like, hey guys, do you want to do like a case study, success story? And I think I was talking to you like these days about it, but it wasn't real for me and for my team until we saw it live, until we had the link, to see and to really screw it. Because I mean, we just started with an agency. It's I had it in my mind for goals for years, to come, and I did it in just a few months. So it is still like, I'm still happy to talk about it.
What else are I mean, you can't always just get some amazing case study that gets picked up by TikTok, but what else is going on that's interesting? You can tell us like things that are working, or specific strategies that people can use either in just TikTok advertising or Amazon advertising. You've been doing this for quite a while now, and it's been over a year since you've been on the podcast. So what else has happened in the last year or so that you can share with the audience that you think can help them?
Yeah, so a lot of actually changed, especially on TikTok. I know more about it because I'm more on that platform. Changed in like how people like to search. They don't go anymore that much on Google to search for things. I mean, they still do, but not that much as they were. They also go to TikTok app and go to search and search, like, for example, how to fix something, how to do some things, whatever, like to make a bed, or to dress yourself for wedding or similar. And it helps a lot to users and also to sellers, because when you still go to Google and you search for how to do something, blah blah blah, you can see like in one of the first 3 or 4 links you will see a TikTok link. When you click on it, you will go to TikTok video, actually how to do something, or trying to find some answer for some topic. You will see it on Google, because TikTok has become now like a search app as well. So yeah, that's like a major thing that happened since we last talked. So but let's say also with the influencers, I realized like in the last year changed a lot. We have a lot more influencers going now to TikTok rather than to Instagram. And of course, along with that, their prices have increased. But we have them more now on TikTok, and that game was changed a lot. Like, let's say, fighting between Instagram and and TikTok as apps. So a lot more people are there now. A lot more sellers are a lot more brands. I mean, last year when we talked about it, I think I said, I remember like it was. Still new, not a lot of sellers are there, especially from Amazon. Now we can see the numbers are increasing.
When you talk about TikTok advertising, can you only advertise your own content, or let's just say some influencer or user does their UGC, an organic post on their own account? Can you send advertising traffic to their video as well? How does that work? I've never done TikTok advertising.
Yeah, no worries. So there are 2 ways when advertising the video already posted. So if you have, for example, organic profile on TikTok, you can just link in your like business account for advertising with your organic profile, and then take the videos from your profile to advertise it, to increase, for example, also likes, shares, comments, and everything, followers as well. But you can also have like hire some influencer to post the video about your brand, and then when they post it, they need to send you like some kind of a code, so you can implement it to your business account and use their video to advertise your product. So with that being said, you don't necessarily need to be like present on TikTok to have the videos. You can just like hire the influencers and then advertise their videos to, send traffic to your Amazon page. So like that's how it goes. But I would always recommend to have both sides, because it's always good to have to see like what work maybe better for your brand. It can maybe go similar, like a 50-50. But it's always good to have it from influencers, eyes, like someone that is closer maybe to users, and from brand side. And you can increase, followers, engagement on the profile. A lot more people can see you, then recommend and such a thing. So I think it's always better to use, maximum of it. But if you're not able to, as you said, like you
Hmm.
can use some others video to actually advertise your brand.
Okay, now I'm looking at their Marbotic TikTok page, and so I see just tons and tons of videos here, and without clicking on it, it seems like mainly like UGC. So does this mean that like somebody records this like with the TikTok app or in this format, and then they send it to you guys and then you just post it, or they send just a bunch of raw video and then you guys format it to and put these like captions and things onto TikTok, or what's the process here? Because this is obviously not just Marbotic company using every employee's different kids in their company and putting these videos up, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so as I said, they had like a girl that was their, UGC, like creator for them. Um, they together came up with the strategy. As I said, we helped them at some point, like how to a little bit improve it. So the girl was actually filming her kids, some friends' kids, like she was trying to
Mm.
find out like different kinds of kids, and she was a teacher. Actually, she is a teacher. So she was filming it like from her perspective as a user, and it is more natural way to show off your product, as I said, like how actually kids are using it, not like fully screened. She was just filming them playing with it, talking about it, like, oh mom, I really like this one, can I play with the robotic, or some kind of a things, like pulling it out from the some drawers, like to play with it. And then she was editing the videos, adding the text on it, like some hooks, and post it on their profile. And we actually used those posted videos on their profile to advertise the product. So it was everything filmed with the UGC, like from their user perspective, and we used that to increase sales.
Let's just say, I'm one of the listeners, a Amazon company out there. I'm doing, I don't know, let's just say, $500,000 a year on Amazon currently. So I'm about that level of seller. Now, I've never done TikTok advertising. I don't even have my TikTok account. So I would assume, all right, first step is make your TikTok account, and then now what kind of budget should I be looking at to even get started? Because this is not something where it's like with Amazon PPC. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just do a $5 a day auto campaign and just have that, and who knows, what's going to come from it. But I know on TikTok it's different. Like there's kind of a minimum where it's like, hey, if you really want to have a better chance of success, you can't just have some $5 campaign. So what would be your advice there?
When it comes to budget, like TikTok platform actually has set minimum that is per ad group in the campaign $20. And with that, actually, I have to be honest, you can run follower campaigns and get, like, if I'm not wrong, like in a month about 10K, 8K followers. But when it comes to traffic campaigns, the budget is a little bit, going up. So something that will bring you some sales, some results, it's about 70 euro US dollars per day. Um, why? Because with the less amount of budget, the advertising, actually the videos that are advertised will stop at some point of the day, and you will not use, the whole day. So because the US, market is big marketplace, so we need like around 70 to start with. I mean, if the brand has a budget, it will be nice if they can start with the 100. That is like, our always go-to option. But if they don't, I would say a minimum is a 70. So when it comes to budget, of course.
And then so like day one, I'm not going to get my money back from that 100, unless something crazy happens. So how long does it usually take? 10 days, I've already spent $1,000. Like by that time, how much should I expect? To have a return on investment there.
Yeah, so when it comes to like ROAS and everything, like not the same for each brand, of course, but in
Sure.
around 7 to 10 days, you should be able to see at least a little bit going up, at least for like 1-2% to see something is happening, not that much, because in the first 7 or 10 days, like top in the 10 days for sure, we can collect the audience. We can see how they behaved with the videos, what they liked, what they didn't, what they shared, how many seconds they viewed which video, and then how to turn over the campaigns, in which side to actually optimize, the campaigns. So in a 7 days, for sure, you can, see where can go. So you can optimize in that direction. And then from 7 day actually to start growing your business on TikTok.
All right, interesting. Now, what's the maintenance look like? So obviously every month you weren't 10xing Marbotic's sales. It gets to a point where it's like, all right, now it's like we're out there, we've got the followers, and we just want to keep bringing some new traffic. So how does your strategy change after the initial traffic building, I guess you can call it?
Yeah, amazing question, because that's like a usual question after some time. We got it there, like what now? Actually, TikTok is always having like some new option. Like for example, what we did with Robotic, at some time we had like some forgot the name, interactive add-on the video. It was a display card. We said like it's in beta, we have the access for it. Let's try it on, because it can, change the game a little bit to see how the people will react. For example, we tried with that. Of course, every new month we have some new betas going on, some, user behaviors change. We have some new idea for the, video, how to change, approach on the beginning or, in the middle of the video. So we try to change it, in a different ways when it comes to video, when it comes to optimization, when it comes to some new, additions to the campaign. So that's how we, increase it and still going on with it. But I have to say, their course, as on Amazon, as on every other platform, like a month where you will see, lower sales. That's normal. Like for example, January for most of the products. So in January, we would usually decrease a little bit the budget, because the sales will normally go a little bit low, but not that much as it was in the beginning. So still we have those, fluctuations with the sales, but how to keep it, and trying to increase each month more and more is changing the game in the videos, of course, because that's like at least 60% of the successful campaign is successful video and interesting. And then, of course, with optimization and new things.
All right. So just like last time you're on the podcast, it's time for our 60-second strategy. So what haven't you said today that you think something that's actionable that you can say in 60 seconds or less for our community?
Yeah, I would say if you're not running TikTok ads, try it out. And when trying out, be aware to follow, as I said, with an attribution link, advertising search term report, follow the performances, like dig deep into it to know if it works for you or not. If not, try out like some kind of different videos, different hooks, try to be more interactive, in the first 3 seconds and interesting to your audience, show off your product. And I think that will work.
I think my biggest takeaway is what you're talking about earlier about, when you weren't seeing everything in the attribution from Amazon, from Marbotic, you thankfully had some broad and phrase campaigns and auto campaigns. And then so taking what that hook is, see, I'm learning all kinds of TikTok language here, taking that hook and then making sure there's a campaign on it. And then sometimes you'll be able to see the effects just from your advertising search term report. So I think that's really interesting as well. So if people want to reach out to you and get more information and who knows, maybe be one of the next TikTok case studies that's picked up by TikTok, but how can they find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, they can find us on www.ads.com or reach out to us on office at add2ads.com. And actually, for today, I prepared like a $300 coupon for all the listeners that will reach out to us. Hopefully, just put on the subject Helium 10, and that's how you'll get, little discount from us.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on here. I'll be seeing you hopefully in a few weeks when I go to Serbia, and I in your languages I guess I'll say obrigado and hvala. Thank you for coming on here, and let's see where you and your agency are at next year when you come back on the show.